Hey, and welcome to a wonderful episode of Chopping It Up. This is where I bring just amazing people in the football community, media, culture, and we just have wonderful conversations. And they vary. I know people are always just like, we get it, you're a city podcast. Hey, there's a whole world of football out there, and we like to enjoy, we like to listen, we like to learn, especially me. There's still so much of everybody, but I'm talking about me. There's still so much for me to listen and learn about. And that's what this is for. People watching the first 15 minutes, shout out to you, enjoying this on YouTube, podcast apps. But if you subscribe for our $6 a month tier, you can get episodes like this in full and all of our previous episodes in our library. It's a solid 20 plus hours of extra content on top of our weekly episodes. It's a pretty good deal, again, for one pint. And it's like okay beer, $6. That's not even like something too serious. So yeah, check out the links in the description, Patreon, all of that stuff. But we have a guest for you, Shady Gang. First time, super excited. Oh, our guest. I always love giving people the credit, so you can just instantly just pelt them with their own flowers. You're fantastic. PhD in sports sociology, possibly senior on BN Sports. Also was recently on our good friends Into the Channel podcast, El Arabi TV. Could have written work in places like Babel, Forbes. I don't know. Have you heard of them? Shout out to our guests on their own pod, the Super Subs, which is the first podcast in Arabic dedicated to women's football. And I feel like I've even buried the lead. Today's guest has 5 caps with the Lebanon women's national team. Shady Gang, please give it up for the first time, Assile Toufaily.
That's a nice introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, it's just the things that you have done yourself. So, congratulations to you. That you're a good introduction.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I'm trying as much as possible, and it's always the same one objective: try to contribute in a way or another to empowering female footballers. That's the number one goal.
I love that. Yeah, when we started this podcast, it's a black podcast. We are in ourselves the niche, and I just knew we had to also talk about women's football. I am still dabbling my foot into it, so thankfully Tom Baum, he is the one who sent the second half of the interview, the real good questions. That's his thing. He covers Kansas City Current. He's the homie, so he helped bump this up. This is just again a chance for me to listen and learn. If I do know, I know some things about some of these players and things in the conversations, but we'll know. I'll just say this now: we'll have to have you on again when Tom Baum can get on, and I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself much better if he's on here. But let's get things started with your football love origin story. How did you fall in love with football?
Okay, I believe it's such a long story, so I think I'm gonna try to.
We're here. We're hanging out. It's 8:30. It's 8 in the morning for people who are in America. This is not a problem. I'm always up at 6. So this is great. I've been up for a bit. I have my coffee. So I literally have the entire day. So you take your time telling whatever stories we're hanging out.
Okay, so actually the way I started playing football, and this is where it gets interesting, is why I got into sports sociology. So we'll also talk about this later on. Yes. But the reason why I started playing football is because of this family entourage I had. Because most of my family members, whether it was my dad directly, the small or direct family, or the bigger family with my cousins, uncles, etc., etc. They all love football. And in Lebanon, basketball is kind of the most popular sport at the moment because the league is in a better place. Football is full of corruption.
Mm,
So basketball now is the most popular sport. But back then, football had its impact and had its weight. And the FIFA World Cup was kind of a attraction month, let's say. You'd walk in Beirut or you'd walk in any street in Lebanon, you just see flags of different nations, Italy, Germany, Brazil, just on the balconies. So people in Lebanon really love football. So I started playing with my brother. I have a younger brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and we started playing together. I remember I used to be five, he used to be 3 years old, and we always had this ball hanging around in the house or even in the like outside because we used to have a small field next to the house. So like I don't really remember. It's such a typical story for female footballers, but I don't remember having these Barbies or these sorts of games. It was all about having a ball with my brother. It's either playing football or basketball or any sort of sport that needed activity, needed you to move. I wasn't the type of person who just like sit and play Lego, for example, because Lego needed me to sit down and focus on the Lego.
yeah.
I used to engage in any sport that needed activity. So this is how it started, and I have some tapes and some videos on my Instagram account showing me playing with my brother. I was 8 years old, he was six, and we used to play in the backyard. And I was wearing my school's uniform, so I used to come back from school, have lunch, and then it was directly going to the backyard and playing until I don't know 7 8 p.m. Then we go back home, like inside. We shower, we eat, and we go back to school the next day. So it was all about football.
Wow.
So I couldn't escape it. It was all about football ever since I was a kid. And then things got serious when I started playing with school because my school had some sort of a girls team, used to play, participate in inter-school schools events. And from there, a friend of my dad was also a coach in the Lebanese Federation, saw me, asked about me, and I started getting involved in a more federal way, like with the federation, with clubs, etc., etc. And this is how I made it here.
Hey, shout out. Sometimes siblings are the best, you know? So I assume you were better than him, right? Like naturally.
Uh, he's such a great player. Like even now, like whenever I go back to Lebanon, I like play five-a-side games. I love to have him on my side because he's such a smart player and he's a great defender. But I remember, like, until a certain age, I had this advantage because if you want to talk talk from a biological point of view or like
Mm-hmm.
physiology, until puberty or until the first years of like 10, 11, 12 years old, girls
Yeah.
are faster, they're stronger, and this is when the switch happens.
Yeah.
So until then, I remember I was the fastest. And I had 2 years like advantage. And then when he said puberty and things changed, this is when I lost control. Like I was unable to fight with him or like outrun him. So yeah, he had a huge impact in me going that far because he had his group of friends and cousins, etc. But I was never left out. I know that a lot of girls were always left out because they were the girls and they can't play
Mm-hmm.
with boys. I didn't feel this because I was always like it was me, my brother, and the rest. I was always part of the group,
Mm.
and this is where I feel like I have to also to give a shout out to my dad and mom because you're talking about a Muslim place, Muslim city or like department in Lebanon where football wasn't really accepted or like welcomed to be played by girls and it was
Mm.
this male dominated sport. My dad used to, like, people used to ask my dad, why are you letting her play football? Let her go into a more accepted female sport. And like they used to take me everywhere. I remember my mom sometimes waking up at 5 a.m. because we used to have a training at 7 a.m. in Beirut. So I had an hour 30 drive or an hour ride, and they used to take me twice, 3 times, 4 times a week. So yeah, my brother did have an impact on the football side. But my parents had a huge impact on logistics, like the
Yeah.
logistics approach of the game. Like they were the guarantee for me to push that far. That's sure.
It, they say that not every revolutionary gesture needs to be grand, but something as simple as letting or urging your daughter to play football with the boys, that that establishes things. It forces people to think and wonder, and also, create a most dope human being like you that has the experiences that you have. So yeah, shout out to your dad.
Yeah. Totally.
What is something that is overrated about football?
Like I thought a lot about this question. I couldn't find one easily because like I don't know, but I couldn't find one. But then I thought of something. It's a thought on my mind for years and years. I think you might agree as a City fan who isn't necessarily a fan of other big clubs, but I feel like, and I'm really sorry for all Liverpool fans. I feel like Liverpool's chant "You never walk alone" is overrated.
Let's go.
I really don't understand the hype behind it, because if you listen to, I'm not gonna give you the popular chants of Real Madrid or Barca, but if you come listen to the chant of Olympique Lyonnais here in France, it's such a nice chant with a story with it. Dads taking their sons to the game, building a culture for the city. So it's a nice chant, but never got even the 2% recognition like Liverpool's "You Never Walk Alone." And I tried to listen to Liverpool's chant over and over again. Like I never felt like I'm boosted to play football after listening to it.
Let's
So I know,
go.
I don't know. I know it might be related to it. You have to be a Liverpool fan to accept it, to appreciate it, but I couldn't.
I love it. You're like, you know why it's overrated? It's not even a good song. There's no storytelling. Where's the connection? Like, have you
I don't
heard
like
it? It just doesn't slap. I like
and like
that. It's from a very like honest and critical. It's like if you just listen to it, it's just not a good song. Like
yeah,
obviously like it, feel how you want about it, but no, I want better for you, Liverpool.
yeah, and I feel like these Liverpool fans just love it because yeah, you grow up uh, being taught that this is the club's chant. Like I've tried listening, and I love Liverpool. Like in England, I'm not a big United fan. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I like City now because of Sherky, so I'm gonna follow City because of Ryan
Let's
Sherky. He's one
go.
of my top three players at the moment.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I've been boosting him since he was 16, 17 years old, writing about him on social media. So I love Liverpool, but I feel like the chant is kind of like it gets more buzz around it than it should.
Hey, I love. Oh, what a guess already! You've done so great. Well, and I completely understand where this overrated, underrated really does, especially overrated, because people are just like, I don't want to say anything about football. It's overrated, and the I guess this is just like the petty person in me. But let's hear you judge at somebody, and you did great. You nailed it.
Yeah.
So, people usually have something. This is an easier answer. What is something that's underrated about football?
I found a lot of things like Ryan Cherki for me was an underrated player because when you look at Vids from Liverpool to Liverpool being signed for I don't know how much, and then Ryan
Mm,
Cherki a bargain for City for 27 million. I don't
yes.
know how much. And at some point, John Textor wanted also to sign him for to sell him for less. And in Lyon, we were losing our minds. Like he's a generational talent. He plays with both feet. So he's one of these underrated players. But if I had to choose one, like one of my weak points in football, and I know that maybe the younger generations don't really know how big of a player he was, I would go with Arsenal's Santi Cazorla.
Santi
Santi Cazorla.
Cazorla. Wow. This
Santi
so
Cazorla.
you're not the first person to actually give Santi some
Right?
love. So that's great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That period of Arsenal, like this Arsenal team with Santi, Rosiski, Cesc at some point, Thierry Henry, Pires, of course, with Arsene Wenger, they were my second favorite team after Real Madrid. And as someone who grew up playing in midfield, who used to love create chances, I
Mm.
used to watch like Santi Cazor like with admiration. Like he has both feet. For me, if you don't know how to use both feet on a football field, you're not a football player. You're good, but if you want to go higher, you have to play with both feet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to use both 50-50 like Cazorla does or Sharky does, but at least don't use the other leg just to like walk up the stairs. Like use it for something. And I like he was one of the smartest ever. He's such a smart player. He was
Mm.
a player cursed because of injuries, same as Rosiski, same as Abu Dhabi. Many players who got many injuries. The Brazilian Ronaldo